I had an eye-opening experience this week. This week is STL Tech Week. It's a series of amazing conferences in St. Louis, technical conferences. But at the kickoff, there were protesters. And they jumped up on stage with a handwritten sign that said, "Stop AI." And they were chanting repeatedly, "Human needs, not corporate greed." So what I'd like to talk about today is the gap between those of us that work in AI and those of us who feel threatened by AI, and whether there's anything that we can do about it. Now, I will admit I am an AI optimist. I believe in the technology and the amazing things that it can do around things like medical discoveries and making our work less drudgery and more interesting. And I believe that overall it will float more boats in our economy. But it is possible that I am wildly over-optimistic, and the majority of Americans do not agree with that viewpoint. They're worried. They're worried that AI is going to take away their jobs. They're worried about what careers or jobs might be available for their kids. They're worried about data centers and the impact on the environment or their energy costs. And they're worried that power, whether political or financial, will be concentrated in the hands of the few who control AI. So I wish I knew the answers to this. About all I can do is maybe suggest a little way to narrow that gap for those of us that are involved in AI in the enterprises. And that starts with how we do our AI governance. And the first thing we typically do is we look at risks of new AI use cases or models. And so as an example here, I'll show you IBM's AI Risk Atlas. Now, typically when I talk about these risks, I'll focus on ones that impact the enterprise directly. Maybe it's, the accuracy or quality of the model, or the risks of confidential data in your AI, or attacks on your AI via prompt attacks. But I often neglect this list at the bottom, the non-technical risks, and specifically these ones around societal impact. Is there an impact on jobs? What does an AI agent do about human agency? Are there communities that are affected by this AI? Are we considering these risks in our AI process? And if so, what are we doing to mitigate those? Is it possible that we could take a little bit of the savings or increased revenue from AI and reinvest that in worker reskilling or in our communities? And if you're not in a position in your organization to influence this process, then maybe you can take your AI skills and volunteer at a nonprofit and help them achieve their mission by leveraging AI. I'm a little nervous. I'm a little worried about what comes next as AI impacts society, and particularly about those who feel powerless about its impacts. So I welcome your contribution to this conversation.